Happy Tuesday, everybody. Today I'm super duper excited. We have Kortney Good with us. And you guys, I know that you are going to be incredibly inspired by her story. And she just gave me an awesome tip, which I'm going to have her share with you guys here shortly. But every week, you guys know, we get together. And since I've taken over these Zooms the past 3 weeks, it's lit my fire. So be sure to get the recording out to everybody on your team. Share it on your team page or wherever. Just honestly, you guys, when you are inspired by what you hear and you hear people overcome things, you hear people how they got to where they got to, or where they're at currently, you're going to realize that everybody struggles at some point or another. Everybody goes through life events at some point or another. And there's always going to be setbacks. And then there's going to be times that you're celebrating and you're skyrocketing through, right? That's called momentum when you guys create momentum. So take these tips. And that's something that I've learned. I've been in network marketing for almost a decade now. And I can tell you, even from the very beginning of time, it was like, who are you going to learn from? You're going to learn from the people that are doing the thing, right? And as Mario always says, if they're doing the do, right? So I really think that these calls are essential and they're going to be something that are critical for people to listen to because it's not just sugarcoating stuff, it's like the real life journey to get to where you are. So, Kortney, enough chitter chatter from me because I talk way too much, as you guys have probably learned. So, you want to tell everybody how and when you got started thriving? Like, how did you end up here in the first place?
Yes. Well, thank you for having me. Everybody, thank you for jumping on. And what I love about this community is if we pivot, right? We are doing these Tuesday calls at noon. So, Amanda, thank you for continuing these calls because they are impactful. I've been on a billion of these and I like the rawness of it. I don't love that. It's just like everything's amazing, life's great. And why can't you just make this happen, right? Like we all just go through struggles, and that's just life. Like no matter what you were doing in life, we're going to go through struggles. But I feel like this community helps those struggles because, like again, you guys were talking about Amanda. You said that last week, Tuesday on the call. Like we don't just do life, thrive together. We do life together, and that's what I love the most is getting to know people in this industry and fully caring about whatever is going on in their life, right? So for me, I have been thriving for over 8 years. You guys drop it in the chat. Where did you find Thrive? Was it Facebook? Was it a friend that was just like beating down at your door every other day, be like, you need to take this product. I know it's going to change your life. Now, here's funny is like, what product has somebody ever just asked somebody over and over and over to try? Um, Not many. We do that because we know it's going to work. We're just waiting for you to actually trust us, right? Because we know once you put this product in your body, things are going to change. So for me, I found this product on Facebook from my friend Chastity, which I wasn't really friends with her at the time. I mean, we were Facebook friends, let's just be real. But I met her 2 years prior to that in Florida on a Wednesday at a karaoke bar. Yay. So that's how I started. And so what did we do? We became friends on social media, right? And so I started watching some things that she was doing and I knew a little bit about her. And all of a sudden I see on Facebook, she's walking on stage with this big old thing. And I was like, what's that? I'm like, girl, what are you doing? And well, she was thriving. And she's like, you got to try this product. And to me, just so y'all know, I was a product junkie prior to Thrive. So this is not my first, this is my first product that worked. But I was a personal trainer for 16 years. I was an assistant for a chiropractor. So my whole life was health and wellness. I lived in a gym about 10, 12 hours a day for about 15 years. I ran a whole bunch of gyms in my area. So what do? We go to GNC the first Tuesday of every month. Is 25% off. You would have thought I had like a billboard walking around with like the GNC. Okay. Because I was taking 18 to 20 supplements a day for about 15 years. So you know how people will say, "Oh yeah, I bought this product and it was in my medicine cabinet, whatever, and it was expired and I threw it away because it didn't work." Y'all, I still was taking the products knowing it wasn't doing anything for me. I kept thinking, well, it's got to be doing something to the inside of my body. I don't see it on the outside. I am tired. I'm exhausted. I'm miserable. I know I'm being a terrible mom. I mean, God, how many times have we said that as a thriver? It made me a better mom. Like, come on, like so many times you've heard that story. Those stories are real. Like when someone says, you're never going to believe it, but I'm like a better person. I'm like a better mom. I'm like, dude, believe you. I believe you. Because the same thing happened for me. So when I found out about Thrive, I messaged Chastity and she was like, like the Lavelle fan page. Y'all make sure you're still doing that. Super good things there. Like that Lavelle fan page, because that was the only reason why I'm thriving. Maybe I would have thrived. I don't know. Because Chastity's story wasn't my story. We did not have the same story whatsoever. But somebody on the Lavelle fan page did. So I was that, I was scrolling on my phone and I was reading stories and I came upon a twin story of mine. It was like she had 3 kids. She was tired and exhausted. She worked out 7 days a week, and people are always like, well, Kortney, how are you so exhausted if you work out 7 days a week? I'm like, well, I can't fill in my nutritional gaps on a treadmill. Like, let's just get real. Like, it has to do with what we're putting into our bodies, right? Not what we're putting out of our body as we're exercising. I'm depleting my body more and more and more. I'm more and more exhausted, right? And so she said, you need to watch, dude, no, I think he knows I'm talking or something. And he's like, why is she talking to nobody? And I'm going to like, whatever. She said, you have to watch this video. Y'all, this was back in the video days of 8 years ago. And I tell you what, I would challenge you to go look it up. I don't even know what it says, but it's 7 minutes and 12 seconds. That's how much I remember it. And it was a video, and it was like, it was older couples walking in the woods and they're smiling. I'm like, oh, I walk in the woods, but I definitely don't smile. Even though I thought in some way I was healthy. Dude, no, you're going to have to go. Yeah. I'm babysitting my granddaughter. And then I see this lady, no, dude, go. And then I see like this lady on a jet ski with money falling. I'm like, I want to walk in the woods and be happy and smile. I want money falling from the sky. It was like the best video ever. But until the very last second, that video said in 3 simple steps. I was like, I'm out. I take 20 steps a day and I'm tired and miserable and exhausted. And I take everything out of my family because I'm tired and miserable and I'm exhausted. I am heck no way going down to 3 simple steps, right? Now, at this point, I didn't know what 200K was, but realizing Chastity got there in like 30 days, that still wasn't intriguing to me because cool, great for her. I was super excited for her, but I still wanted just to feel good. At this point, money didn't matter. I wanted the money, needed the money, but I needed to freaking not take a nap 1 hour after I got up. That's what I needed to do. And so, like, even though as skeptic as I was, I needed this product to work. I needed to work desperately, and I needed the opportunity to work literally just as much. Because when I started with Lavelle, I was robbing Peter to pay Paul. Some of y'all have heard my story before. It's that, I don't know. I'm not going to say typical because it's not that typical because I actually have never ran across somebody that had the same story as me. But when I started Thrive, I had a house, okay, but only 2 rooms had heat. Could you even imagine that? I live in Ohio, okay? It ain't warm, okay? Or it's either really hot or freaking freezing, right? And so the heat was in my kitchen and in my living room. Every single bedroom did not have heat. My bathroom did not have heat. I had 3 kids. If you could only imagine, kids couldn't come over to my house. It really wasn't safe for them to do that, right? I mean, don't get me wrong. I had a clean house. I cleaned. I was still a normal person. But we just didn't have the money. The house that we bought, we lived in it for 10 years, was supposed to be a summer home. Well, it turned into be a home. Not we didn't build it for a summer home, but years ago it was. Just never had enough money to put heat in our house. So yeah, my friend, like my daughter, gosh, I mean, it's crazy now to think that was 8 years ago, but she was a teenager. She couldn't have her little friends over because for one thing, I I'm different now than I was then, but I was 100% embarrassed. I don't know anybody that doesn't have heat in their house. And so with Thrive, I was like, God, I want this product to work. I'm freaking sick of being exhausted. And I hope this opportunity works just as well, because that would be amazing to actually be able to actually, anybody know Melissa and Doug? It's a like a what's it called? Toys. Melissa and Doug, like the wooden toys, whatever. Well, for about 3 years before I started Thrive, maybe even longer, I'm not sure, I don't remember. Our Christmas presents came from my husband's safety points. So every month through his work, he gets safety points. And so like 25 points, 50, whatever, they basically equal the dollar in a sense, right? And so he would have so many at the end of the year, and that's how we bought all of our Christmas presents. And for the young kids, my boys, it was mostly that Melissa and Doug, because that's all they had. That's what we got them. It's not what they wanted, but I wanted them to open something up on Christmas, right? And so that's what we did. And so Chastity sent me all the videos. I decided not to go for it because of the 3 simple steps. I mean, come on, dude. Who takes 3 simple steps first 30 minutes of your day and you see Jesus? Come on, like, come on. You know what I mean? It doesn't happen. So after I was scrolling through Facebook, put me in some different avenues that I could learn a little bit more. I decided, friggin' hey, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. You know what I mean? So I had to wait like 2 weeks to get enough money for the 150. Again, I was spending money. Y'all, we're spending money, even if we have it or not, but it's just little by little. $8 here, $5 here, $4 here. I was getting that Tim Hortons, who knows, whatever. Too many things to even put in my body. I was doing all that. I finally ordered Thrive. Day 1, didn't notice anything. Day 3, day 4, noticed a little something. I knew something, but it wasn't like anything. And then day 10, I was like, holy flip and flip. Like, this is it. This is the stories I've been reading. Almost 8.5 years ago, when you were reading the Lavelle fan page, 1000%, I would have put money on it that these people were being paid to write that. 100%. No freaking way is somebody all of a sudden feeling so great 10 minutes after they wake up, yada, 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 right? And so I was day 10, and then I get to day 14. I'm driving the car, taking my daughter to school. We had like a 30-minute commute to see me take 1,000 quadrillion vitamins. I always tell people that at the end of my vitamin career, because it was a career, I was just buying bottles that were prettier than any other, like B12 with pink and like sparkles around it where it says B12. Like, I literally was buying a label and not the product, because nothing was changing my life, right? But I thought, your doctors say you gotta, supplement. You're not gonna get what you get in food. There's no way it would cost you $75, well, maybe 75 now, but they said 50 then. $50 a day to eat organically, and get all the nutrition that you need. Well, I don't friggin' have $50 a day for my whole family. And so I know the key to supplement. I know it's amazing and you should be doing it. So anyways, my dogs are distracting me, and I hate this that they're doing this to me right now. Okay, so
listen, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm glad though. I want to stop you for just 1 second, because you said so. You guys, she said so many things there that are gonna be relatable to so many people. All right, I was a nurse. I was a tough cookie to crack. In fact, I always joke about it and tell people I called it a crack patch. Okay, and I was a cardiac nurse. A cardiac nurse. Let that sit in. I watched hearts, and I literally was calling it a crack patch. All right. I was like, I don't need all that caffeine, all of that business. All right. And literally, I said, I think I said it last week on this call. Exactly. Somebody had sent me a 3-day sample, and I was angry. I went off on Facebook about it because I worked for a supplement company at the time, another health and wellness company, and I felt insulted. Like, my products don't work, and here you're sending me this. And I worked with a bunch of people that did like that, also thrived. But you know what? Funny enough, nurses don't know a whole heck of a lot about vitamins. All right. And filling your nutritional gaps. And a lot of people go, well, just eat better. No, you're not going to get everything, especially in today's food that is stripped from its nutrients, right? So we're missing a lot of stuff. I guarantee you almost every single person on here is low in vitamin D. All right. Unless you are religiously taking it, for one, you're probably not getting enough calcium to absorb the vitamin D. So yeah, most people are, and that affects our mood, right? And you've got to have it, like you get vitamin D from sunlight. And guess what? A lot of us don't get enough of, especially now. So it's like there's so many things that I never took into consideration at all. And you said something else about how can 3 steps do all of that, right? Because most people get up in the morning, they take the coffee. It's kind of like back when I started, I know exactly that 7-minute video because I watched it and I sent it to people when I joined almost 6 years ago. But I literally was like, I'm not giving up my coffee. I love I don't drink coffee very much now. Every time I do end up getting a cup of coffee, I normally will end up taking a couple sips of it, just like my day one of Thrive. I still made my cup of coffee, and do you know it got cold and sat there as a full cup? But you know what? You also said something else. People will spend the money. And I want to throw a fact out there for you guys that I read about last night, because you know what? I'm a homework person. I am a person that likes to look up numbers. I am a person that likes to look up and debunk everything that people are going to say. People say that, people aren't spending money. I'll go look it up. Google statistics on how much the health and wellness industry is worth. And I bet you come up with the number of $4.4 trillion in 2022. In fact, a 9.9 increase from 2020. Wow. 4.4 trillion, you guys. What? I was blown away by that number. People are going to spend money on what they want to spend money on. And how many people are going to join the gym this year and never go to the gym? All right. How many times have you bought something and it sat on your shelf? Just like Kortney was talking about all the supplements that she had that, we don't like it or whatever. Right. So it's like people are going to spend money on things that they really want to spend money on. They're going to do it. But here's the thing with Lavelle, and this was one of the selling points to me. And one of the reasons why I said yes. It was free to join, and it was free literally for my website. Most companies, you guys, charge $20 to $30 a month for a website. And you also have annual renewals. We don't have an annual renewal. The fact that somebody could get started by selling mini experiences, which is actually how I came in, and I sold every single ounce of the product from my 200 pack and I had to turn around and buy you guys a 400 pack immediately, because before my first couple hours from posting that I had joined, because so many people were like, Amanda, I want to try that, because I had built a know, like, and trust factor already in my community. And I've always been kind of a big mouth. I was a cheerleader in school, and I only had 200 friends on Facebook, you guys. So don't think the more friends you have, the better. It's the relationships that I had with the people that I was friends with, right? So sometimes when we have more friends, they see our posts less. So just never judge the number of people that you have following you, but do judge what you're actually sharing. And are you somebody of your word? Because that trust factor is huge, right? And Kortney, if you're somebody that was in nutrition and somebody that worked out, I guarantee people were more likely to listen to you a little bit when you're like, hey, this worked. Like, I'm feeling good. And I love that you also said the Lavelle fan page, you guys, those stories are popping all the time. I know Chas Marie last week challenged everybody. I did not send mine in. And I was like, oh, I've got to get on this call today and say I did not send my story in. And so I need to get on the ball with that. So if you have not sent your Thrive experience in, I encourage you, when you do that, to do exactly what Kortney just did. The day 1, day 3, day 10, day 14, however many days it took you before you hit that, holy wow. I was a day 1 thriver. And by the afternoon, I was shouting it from the rooftops and knew that what I had my hands on. My ex-husband was not, almost 2 weeks in. He had a crappy diet. He didn't get up and move. He definitely didn't drink water. And he was like, what are you so excited about? I'm running around cleaning and doing all kinds of things. And he's looking at me like, yeah, that's a bunch of crap. So I think that's important for people to hear. if you guys didn't take all of those things like right now from what she just said, like I'm like soaking it all in. I'm like, yes, yes, share it, because those Thrive experiences on the fan page, you guys, somebody needs to hear a different story other than you. That's like the parent and, like whenever you have somebody that you went to school with, but then you hear it from a friend's friend or somebody else, and then you're like, oh, hence the three-way calls and so forth, right? Having a third party validation, if you've gotten away from that, I highly encourage you guys to get back into that, whether it's a call on the phone, if it's over chat, Zoom, whatever, right? We have voice, like we have all kinds of stuff now. Voice clips, we didn't have voice clips when I started. So it was like you had to have Boxer or something to be able to send a voice clip. But no, I think those are all super important things because people's stories are going to be different and not everybody's going to relate to you. Just like, Kortney, I wouldn't have related to your extremely working out thing, right? Because I was struggling with the same 100+ pounds baby weight from like a few years at the time, and I couldn't get it off. So it was like, okay, well, this person's healthy and I needed somebody that looked like me, that was similar to me, for me to kind of really, but I got on a three-way call and I heard I'm sleeping better. I have more energy and my mood is better. And I was like, all right, sign me up. Let me try this out. I will try a sample, but I'm not going to do anything more than that. I'm not going to promise anything else. I'll create the free account, but I am not going to do anything else until I try it. So I was I need to try it before I shared it person. And I mean, a lot of people are going to be that way, but I encourage you, get those samples out because those samples will pay for your upgrade pack. Right now we have double and triple fast starts, and I have a girl on my team that is selling the crap ton of 3-day minis, all right, to give back cash, but also just to get samples in people's hands. Because what do we know? When people try it, they want more, right? They want more. But anyways, all right, Kortney. So I want you to share, like, when you got started. So you said it's been 8 years or 9?
8.5.
8.5 years. Okay, so back then it definitely was a lot different, you guys. It was definitely a lot different. We had the calls, where we call in all the time for the 24-hour call and so forth, but we still had the live Thrive, like the Thrive live calls. We still had the Tuesdays and Thursday calls, which we still, if you look on the little fan page, you guys, those are still on there, right? But we also can go on and go live on Facebook now and share events and different things. So make sure that you are sending people those things, because believe it or not, people still will call. They still want to listen. They'll jump on the Zoom or jump on the Facebook lives secretly, a lot of times secretly, because they're so hesitant. And you met Chas at karaoke and you followed her. I got to tell you guys, so many times you're missing out on people. Okay. And I want to encourage you to just start talking to people, because Chas is the queen of the Uber driver, the waitress, it doesn't matter who you are. She's going to spark up a conversation with you and she's going to add you on Facebook. And I do it too. And maybe some of you guys are not like social people. Find a reason to compliment the person that you're checking out with at the grocery store today. If you go to the grocery store or gas station or something, right? And if they're personable and somebody you think you get along with, add them. See if you can add them. Find a reason to bring up why you're in such a good mood or whatever, right? But anyways, Kortney, so you saw Chas come in and she went 200K in 30 days. Okay, so when you came in, you were running for the VIP bonuses, or did you not?
Yes.
Yes. So, because I mean, you said you didn't have any heat, which actually my brother-in-law has a pellet stove. So like his house, the fuel for it is really, really expensive. It's freezing in there. If you don't have that fuel. I haven't seen a house like that. And so when you said that, I was like, oh yeah, actually his house is kind of like that. when you came in and you saw you went for your VIP bonuses, a lot of people play that comparison game. Did that affect you? How did that affect you? The fact that she had gone so fast and you saw, this glamorous thing happening, for her, and then you were here and you were just getting started. So I think it's important because people compare
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's something that's always going to be like, no matter what. I mean, there's times now that I'll snooze one of my friends because I'm comparing myself and I get into my own little way. And that's just self-development and it's a lot better. I mean, gosh, every month I get better and better. But I did know, and my faith was pretty strong when I started with Lavelle. So I knew everything was about me and I had to believe in me. I had to believe in the vision, and I had to plan to get there, right? So I could see what's possible. So for me, it was actually kind of great because I thought, well, we're not that different, right? It's that whole thing that I was comparing us as, since we're not that different. So if she can do it, I can do it. So I went on a full mission because I knew if I didn't believe in me, then I wouldn't do the work to get there. So I so
That's like key. Like you said, she did it, so I can too.
right,
Pretty
right,
much you were like that. And that's what I think so many people will say, well, I'm not her. But really, the reality of it is somebody else did it. You can too, right? You just
right,
haven't learned what you needed to learn yet or developed yet into that person. So I think that's
right.
a golden tip too.
Yeah, and I do, and I do. I mean, I believe I mean, I've talked to gosh, so many thrivers and people that are not thriving yet, people that want to thrive, and it's the belief system. Like either the product's not going to work for them, the opportunity is not going to work for them. But as you start to get to know people and have relationships, it is. It's like you have to believe in the vision. You have to plan on getting there. You can't have the vision and have no I like my dream boards are behind me. You know what I mean? I look at them every day. You have to believe that you're going to get there because if you are sitting here right now on this Zoom thinking there is no way you're going to get to Miami, or you're not even sure if you can make it to Thrive-Palooza because of A, B, and C, and you haven't really, connected with enough people to get, five, six people in a room. If you don't believe you're going to get somewhere to 4K, to 12K, you're never going to do the work to get there. So for me, I'm big on like manifesting, right? And so it's like I would picture myself already achieving it, already being at, not every time. You guys, I didn't achieve everything every single time, and that is okay, not a big deal. I fight the hardest in valleys. That's where I'm a fighter. Like if I'm up, don't get me wrong, I'm always working. Like Amber's on here, she knows. I've never stopped. I just go and I go and I go. But if I get into a valley, I'm partying down here because I want to fight like heck to get out. Because what I've realized is somebody could be in a valley for a day or two. They're like, oh, this happened. And then they're there for 6 months. They
Mm-hmm.
could have just took that time right then to get the frick out, right? Now, what is that for you? How do you get out of valley? There's a million different ways. Is it calling your upline? Is it going to YouTube and listening just a 3-minute motivational video? Whatever you're feeling in your head that's stopping you to getting to your goals, look it up. Get a book. Do something because the strength in you is when you're in the valley and you're like, I'm flipping getting out of this mother. I'm getting out as fast as I freaking can because I know the longer I'm there, the harder it's going to be for me to get out. And then all of a sudden, while it's hard for you to get out, you don't have the self, like everything's changes. The way you think about yourself, you're doubting yourself. And then all of a sudden you're spiraling out of control. So there's days that, let's say it's 11 o'clock, and all of a sudden I just feel like of whatever happened. Maybe I have a girl that I told her that she's going to detox, and the best thing that you can do is have a detox. And then she's like, "Wait, I'm detoxing. It's not working." I'm like, "Wait, we already talked about this." Like, that's awesome that you're detoxing, and you can go in a valley. I'll get out of it as quick as I can because I know what I focus on grows.
Yep.
1000%. What you focus on in life doesn't have to be a Thrive business. It could be in your relationship at home. It could be at work. Whatever you're focusing on is going to manifest to like the biggest thing ever. And here we are again, trying to get out of the hole. So we talk about self-development a lot on these Tuesday calls is set yourself up when something bad's going to happen. Because guess what? We all know it's going to. We don't want to be like, oh, everything bad's going to happen. It could either trigger you today at a number 10, or but if you're developing and you're building you and your confidence and you're believing you, it could hit you at a 1. You're like, hey, I learned that bad. But man, 3 years ago, that would have put me down. Or you know what I mean? So yeah.
I think that is something, you guys, and Kaylee had mentioned it earlier in a chat today, and you just said it, so I feel like it keeps on popping up for a reason. I think this keeps popping up for a reason. I don't think people attach where they want to go with a goal, like attaching what your goal is and your motivation and all of that, right? Like for me, when I got started, you needed heat, right? You wanted to have heat throughout your house. So you were attaching what you wanted to achieve with what you were going to do once you achieved that, right? So for me, I was working 5-6 days a week, 13-hour shifts, and I had a 45-minute drive each way. Okay. And I literally was never seeing my daughters. They were 2, well, let's see, they were 2 and 9 going on 10 at the time, right? Like, what? Seriously, I wanted to be able to be home with my kids more. So I knew that if I could make X, Y, and Z amount, which I shop for $500 a month, when I started in this industry 10 years ago, if I could make 500 extra a month, it would be able to cut down the amount of hours that I was working at the hospital. So I decided to put the time at first, one day a week. One day a week, I would spend the amount of hours that I would be at the hospital working my business as often as possible, right? So I switched the hours from there to at home, and I did things exactly what you just said. I didn't know how, and guess what? My uplines didn't know how. The people in my first beginning of my journey didn't know how. So I got on YouTube, I got on Google. I didn't have the money to spend on a ton of resources, right? And I did this on every single call that I heard. And I guarantee, Kortney, you're probably going to agree 100% with this. I heard, like, you need to meet people, like, you need to network, right? You need to get in front of the people that need your product. But how do you do that? Well, that's exactly where I started. How can I I challenge each one of you guys to do this. Go and look up, how can you specifically get in front of your target audience, the people that would want your product, the people that would want to join your team. And then guess what? If you don't talk about it, it's like turning your lights off in your business. If you don't share it, it's turning your lights off in your business. And I got to tell you guys, who you're going to join, the person that is sharing with excitement because of what it's actually done for them, or the person that's, not sharing. You don't even know if they're still doing it. Their attitude is negative. You are the people that join you. They're a direct reflection of you. Okay. A lot of times they are a direct reflection of what you're putting out there, and you're going to attract what you are. Period. If you are not consistent, then you're probably going to get somebody that's not consistent for most part. So what do you think when you first got started? I know it's been a while, because it's I go back to my notes, and I still have my notes. I still have my albums on my phone and everything from the very beginning. I just deleted some yesterday, actually. When you first got started, what do you think that key was? Having the background that you had, what do you think the key was for getting it out there? Because I think so many people look at what's not, like, they almost take themselves out of the game right away, and they make it about the ranks. Okay. You guys, listen, you also said you had to decide. You have to decide to do something. I went to my first event, literally, like, I think 5 months into my business, and it was a local, right? It was just like a local. And I heard these women talking about being on food stamps and working at Walmart, and they were making like 5 figures, all right, a month at the time. And I was like, what? I didn't even know that was possible. Like, I was like, I just want to make 500, right? If they can do this, like, and they're telling me, like, I need to get to the Thrive Palooza, which we didn't have Thrive Palooza at that point, but I had to get to that. I had to find a way, and then it was like all these people were like, "Hey, well, you can break it down and example. I could sell this amount of mini experiences in order to buy my flight. I can sell this amount of mini experiences to pay for my portion of the hotel. I can sell this amount of mini experiences to be able to pay for my food, right? While I'm there, and like whatever." So if you pre-plan that and you think about that now and you grab some people's arms, like you can go. And I had never flown, right? So like I had never flown. My ex-husband looked at me like I was crazy going to that stuff. But I made the decision that if these people had gone and done this stuff, well, why couldn't I? And I think that's important, like teaching people in the valleys to realize that it's not about the rank, but it's about the destination that you want to go on. It's what you want to achieve, right? So, like, how did you get that out there for the world? What was the biggest key points for that? Oh, you got, I forgot she's not able to unmute herself now since last week's thing.
Okay, perfect. That's okay. Thank you. Well, to be honest, the fact that I wasn't where I wanted to be in life was motivation enough.
Mhm.
And that, I mean, that when I was like, I need to start getting some tools in my belt pocket, and then I have to continue to sharpen them, continue to sharpen them. I know I needed to be more social. Now that's in life. So it's just not with network marketing. If you want to do anything more in life, you have to be social. So if you're like an introvert like me, I have the book. I don't even know what it's called. I don't even know what it's that. Oh, the introvert entrepreneur. Like I had to read that. You know what I mean? Because I was like, I want to talk to people. Like if I go to Kroger's and I can't find something, I will just leave without it. I'm like, I don't want to bug the people that are working there. So the fact I wasn't where I wanted to be in life was motivation enough for me to do all the things and continue to do all the things and get better every single day as long as it takes me, which I assumed it would take me till I die. Because we're in different seasons in life. There's different things that happen in social media where we're constantly flipping and changing and adding and doing things differently. So I knew I had to build my network every single day. I knew I had to build a community that people felt safe in every single day. I realized that network marketing is really relationship marketing. That it was about, I didn't want to be the salesperson, like, though we are, I mean, let's just be real, but I wanted to be the go-to person. Like Kortney's the go-to person for Thrive because not because I'm just giving value on Thrive, I'm giving value in life, like life stuff on a Monday randomly, a Tuesday, and whatever. So I knew that the know, the like, the trust, I knew that was super, super important. And if someone's going to hand over their health to me, which I do believe that, I kind of feel like we're like health coaches, that they finally said yes. They trusted me enough to take the Thrive experience. I knew that I had to have that excellent service. I wanted to focus on building advocates and not customers. And that's with just, being their friend, like they're thriving with, they're not just my thriving friend. They're like, let's do all the things, together. So, building your network. And I always say this to my team, network marketing is a fancy name for building relationships. That's just what we do. And I like people. So that's cool. And so as if you're somebody out there that you're like, I'm not really a people person, I wasn't either, even though I liked people and I wanted to make people happy. But I guess when I first started, I cared so much about what other people thought of me that almost debilitated me. I probably almost quit 10 times, not because of the product, not because of the comp plan, not because of the thrivers that were with me, not because of my upline. It was from random schmo Bob that I don't even really care about realistically, but I did. Thank God for self-development. Thank God that this industry strives on that, because I would not be here if it wasn't for opening books and opening YouTube and all that kind of stuff. I wouldn't be here, because to change your life, you have to honor your feelings and nobody else's.
I love,
Your
I'm like, at everything you're saying, I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, listen. I read a book, Your First Year of Network Marketing, right? I actually, it's like literally called Your First Year of Network Marketing. All right. And I upload it to the Dream Team page. So if anybody's not on the Dream Team page, literally you can find the PDF file if you just Google it. It's super, you'll see it. Anyways, I can't think of who wrote it. Actually, I can click on it right here. View the file. What is it? Mark Yarnell. Anyhow, I uploaded it so you can like download the whole darn thing or save it for free. You guys, it's going to tell you the stuff that you need to do. Exactly what Kortney just said. Like, you need to sharpen your skills. You got to expect people to quit. Expect people to unfollow you, unfriend you, to call it a scam, to say all of these things, because you're the one that's got to prove it to them, right? You're the one that's got to prove it to you, and you've got to develop into that person. But also the 45-second presentation. I have to share that one. That was a key thing, developing basically your elevator speech, being able to present what it is that you have. And if you've never heard that before, you guys, you don't have a lot of time to catch people's attention. Just like watching a TikTok or a reel, how quickly somebody slips by if you don't grab their attention in the first couple seconds. It's the same thing when they're going through your social media. If you don't grab their attention with a picture, education, whatever, right? Inspiring, funny, a lot of times they're going to keep on going, right? They're going to keep on going. I was a spammer. So like my family and friends all unfollowed me. Massive. Like every post was literally billboard for my first company. Like 100 of them a day. I didn't get the point at first. Now I signed people. But yeah, I was pushing a lot of people away. I think that is what you just said, like literally, I hope that made like that all go off in your guys' brain. Like, think of something that'll help you develop into the sharpen your skills to kind of like the stuff you're going to come off. Go for no, right? You can't be scared of rejection. You're going to be rejected. You're going to have people leave. You're going to have people quit. Kortney, how many times have you had people quit since you joined? Let's say that.
Oh,
Like,
I don't know, a handful of times, you know. But and that's the thing too, is that when we're so worried about honoring others' feelings and not our own, we learned that when we were in school. We wanted to wear the right clothes in the sports. We were going to sit with at lunch. Like, we were brought up to care. Not that our parents said you need to care, but that's just how school life is, right? You want to be like this. You want to be in this group. You want to be in this group. And now we're adults. And it's hard to break that. And don't get me wrong, that was probably one of the hardest things for me. But the biggest mistake is wanting to fit in, right? Because usually who we want to fit in with is the people that we want nothing actually to do with. In reality, that when we're so worried about what other people think of us, and I did the same thing too. I was like spammy whammy when I first started. But if I still worried about what I've realized, I guess I would say, is people can say something to me about what I do. I mean, I got it. I lost pretty much every single friend when I started. My husband lost his friends because his wife was thriving. Now, if some of those friends still come back around, like, oh, wait, you didn't quit because I was making fun of you on social media. Oh, you didn't quit because I put a Bud Light beer bottle thing on my arm like a DFT. Oh, you didn't quit because that next Friday, my friends were putting pepperonis on their arms, making fun of me as a DFT. Y'all, that kept me up at night. But guess what? It didn't keep them up at night. They have their own shit to deal with. They went like, let me go ahead and dig on Kortney. Let me just bring her down. And then I'm going to sleep like a baby. And, she's going to probably be up thinking about, well, I did. I don't do it now. Trust me. I mean, I forget in like 3 seconds. Like, why was I mad? Like, I literally don't remember. And not one of those people would I actually want to put my shoes in their feet, be like, I want that life, and and I say this to say this all the time. The only reason somebody that would, anybody successful, let's say that anybody successful, and I'm not talking financially, I'm talking right here, successful here, would never make fun of somebody wanting for them to better their life. So when was it? There's a couple things I want to say. So when you said, I'm going to start working out on Monday, let's say, anybody in the chat, say, well, you're going to start working out on Monday. You told your friend, your coworker, your husband, your wife, aunt, uncle, whoever. And they're like, oh yeah, sure. Good luck with that. Instantly, probably 1 out of 100 people will say, oh my God, so good for you. That's great. That's amazing. I'm excited for you. People don't do that because they're not doing that. If you say, oh, on Monday, I'm going to start eating better. I'm going to fast, 3 days a week and blah, 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 blah. You say all these things that you want to do to help you become a better whoever you are. You're going to tell somebody, they're going to say, oh, right, try that. That don't work. Okay, you're a thriver. I mean, come on, like no matter what, anything that you're trying to do that's going to better yourself, you're almost going to have no support. I've realized that. Now, what's cool with this community, because I feel like I have support with all you guys. And the product, let's go back to the products real quick. So I was in Canada 2 weeks ago for a retreat. If my Canadian friends or any Canadians are on here, what up? I was very humbled to be invited to this 2-day retreat. We stayed in a church. I'm not going to go in about all that. That was cray, sleeping in a church. But anyway, so you're out of Canada. So you're out of your little element, right? You're not at home. Your capsules are right not next to your bed. But I put them next to my bed. Well, anyways, my cousin Rachel was there with me. Oh, and Amy and Vicky, but she was with me in the morning. And there was a bag of capsules like next to me, like standing up. We're like in the kitchen. And I was like, and my cousin said, did you take your capsules this morning? And I said, oh my God, I'm pretty sure I did. Like I put them next to my bed and yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. And then I was like, hold on a second. So this time I've been up for about 10 minutes. I'm like, wait a second. Well, hold on. I said, let me see if I can feel my capsules. And I go, yeah, I took them. And then I opened up my bag and realized I did because I only bought 2 little packages. And so I was like, oh my God. I was like, that's so crazy. 8.5 years later, within 10 minutes, I could feel my vitamins. Again, already took them, but I just had, there was just a package just laying there. And I thought, well, did I take them? So the product works. Everything works. We have a product. Yeah, it flipping does what it says it's going to do, right? So people always ask, like, for when, and put in the comments below how long you've been thriving. How long you've been thriving, and your freaking capsules waking you up the first thing in the morning. Like, come on. It's just the most insane thing to me that I'm still like, this morning it was 5 o'clock. I didn't need to wake up till 6. I almost got up because I wanted to take my lifestyle mix. I was like, dude, all I can think about is peppermint with a little bit of cafe and some ice and a cup. Like, I'm obsessed, right? People always ask me if they're qualified. Like, am I qualified to do this? I'm going to tell you right now, you are qualified. You might be just scared. Okay. You're ready, but you might be afraid. So a lot of times why people don't think they're qualified enough because they're just scared to do anything more, anything extra. And are you ready? Yes, but you just might be afraid. So we've heard this a billion times. I know it's like a broken record, how annoying, but I'm going to say it anyways. The magic comes when you're out of your comfort zone. It just does. There's not one thing I've ever done in my life that I wasn't scared to crap to do that I didn't come out flipping, freaking, like jumping jacks, like, okay, I was nervous to get on this Zoom today. 8.5 years later, still, you're just like, oh, and I'll be honest with you guys. I prayed before we got on this Zoom. This Zoom isn't, when I get on somebody else's Zoom, I'm ready to be poured into. I'm like, bro, bring it. Last Tuesday was great. I'm like, oh, that was so good. That was so good. I feel your time is so freaking valuable to be on this Zoom. That's the only thing that we have in common is time. So you're going to get on this Zoom, and then this Zoom tonight, Leak's coming, we're going to do a little, whatever. I don't even know what time it is. I barely looked at it. There's a Zoom tonight, and you're going to take your valuable time again to learn about this amazing product that we're 9 p.m. Eastern. Okay, that's good. And to me, you are qualified and you're freaking ready to do everything imaginable that this company can do for you. We have the right product. We have the right compensation plan. We have the right leaders. We have the right flipping CEOs. Y'all, if you didn't read Jason Camper's book, I'm telling you, order it, read it. Because if you ever question for a half of a breath on what this company's future looks like, read the book. Because that we are set up for success, that we have CEOs that are grit. They're grit. They're grit. They're grit. They're grit. They're grit. They wake up. They wake up and they're ready to fight. They wake up. They're ready to fight. They wake up. They're ready to fight. Right now, we are just like, how beautiful that we said yes to a company and we truly fully believe the things that they're saying. Nothing could stray me. The fact is that I almost woke up an hour and a half early because I wanted to take my flippin' peppermint lifestyle mix. Come on, I actually did need extra sleep. My son's home today from school. He has a fever. He's sick. He's 11. I was up all night with him. Okay. The fact is that I can sit here, talk to you. My son's laying over there. He peeked his head up a little bit ago, probably because I'm screaming now. He's been sleeping all day. I did that when I first started. I was like, I'm getting on every call. I'm getting on all the things. I'm doing all the things. I built my freaking business. This is it. Here you go. Here's a tip for you. I know it's probably cold for most people, wherever you're at. I don't care. I did it. You all know I didn't have heat in my house. This is the reason why I did it. I built my business in my car for 2 years. For 2 flipping years. I would go in my, the one thing, don't go in your garage and shut it and have your car still running. I did that a couple of times. I was like, oh crap, I'm going to die listening to a freaking call. Obviously, but I would go to the park and then I would go here and I would go here. There was one room, it was a living room. I couldn't do all my calls, all my Zooms in a room with 3 kids and a husband. It wasn't possible. It was the best thing I did. So if you ever in your business, do you feel distracted when you're like, okay, so I set timers, I'm like, okay, 20 minutes, I'm flipping working. I go into groups. I find my inspiration in groups. I do not find it in timelines. I build my business in groups. I do not build it on timelines. So if I ever feel distracted, where I'm like, oh shit, laundry, oh this, oh that, dude, come on, y'all know we're like squirrels going everywhere. Get in your car, go to the library, go to the parking lot of the library, go to anywhere that you just had your phone, a notebook, and a pen, or whatever it is that you're doing. I'll tell you what, you're going to get so much work done in 20 minutes. It would take you all day to get that done in between scrolling. Oh shoot, I got on Instagram. Oh, now I'm on Twitter, and now I'm on, TikTok, and now I just watched 95 videos, and now I'm making Cheez-It tonight with this, and now that, and oh crap, I forgot about my business. I forgot about this golden nugget that's going to change my life. It's going to change my family's life. And here's the thing. Let's just take that out of the picture. Let's take your family and yourself out of the picture. What about all the people you haven't met yet that are dying for this product, that are sitting at home right now at what time? I don't know, almost 1 o'clock. Can't get out of bed because they're tired and exhausted and miserable. Maybe it's their day off and they're going to get everything done in the world for Christmas shopping, but they just can't seem to get out of the house. You guys, that's what we're doing. We're providing a different life for people, physically and financially, right? The fact is that you are a thriver and you're sharing it. And I don't care if you got one person thriving with you and it's 1 o'clock. Their life right now at this moment is different because you said yes to the product. You did not give up on yourself. You kept self-developing. You kept building your network. You were branding yourself. Brand yourself so flipping attractive that people can't stop following you. Now, if you're putting things on Facebook and you're like, is this attractive? Is this not attractive? Am I spammy whammy, or am I pulling people in because of the value that I'm giving? And, we always talk about that, right? Mandy, you might have just mentioned it about like your storefront. Does it have graffiti all over it? Is it dirty? Do we want to go in? I don't know. Is it like, oh my God, this is awesome. This is inviting. And she's that go-to person. She's not that salesperson. She's the go-to person that gives value to people because she loves it. Y'all, I do it because I love it. I know y'all do it because you love it, right? And so, yeah, I just think, I guess the moral of my story is give value to others. Think about others before you think about yourself. There's so many people out there that haven't said yes to Thrive yet. There's so many people out there that you haven't met yet that you're about to change their life because of who you are. You're going to figure out your elevator pitch. I was at the gym the other day and I had my DFT right here. I normally don't have it there. It was the big, anniversary one, just because whatever, like it hits the muscles wrong and it like flips. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then this girl goes, oh my God, typical. I mean, how many times has this come around your life? And she says, what's on your arm? I'm like, bro, this is what I said. The best thing ever. She goes, well, I want the best thing ever. I want the best. And normally I could be like, it's my wearable nutrition gives me. I'm like, dude, I'm like, that's it now. That's all I'm saying to people. It's the best thing ever. Because who wouldn't want that, right? So anyways, yeah, I guess the fact is, why do we want to grow? Why do we want to constantly feed our soul for greatness? It doesn't just help in our Thrive life, it helps in our relationships, helps with our friends relationships, helps with every single thing that you do in life. The fact that you're not where you want to be should be motivation for you enough to pick up a book, go to YouTube, watch. I'm doing a 10-day challenge with my team. We're on day 6. It's a social media. It's a social media. Oh my God, I don't remember what it is. Somebody on here tell me what we're doing. I don't even know.
I I think it's great though.
Self-development.
Oh, there you
A
go.
social media and self-development challenge. Hello, just said that. And it's for 10 days. And I put 3 tasks out a day that they got to do. They got to complete. They got to, put whatever. And I wrote to my team last night. I said, if y'all are in the freaking challenge, at least watch the videos that I'm putting up, 3 to 4 minutes each day. That will change you. You just, I always tell my team, the hardest thing is to pick up the book. It's just the hardest thing is to open the damn page and start reading. You see it, it's there, it's going to help. That you've had probably somebody in your upline send you a whole bunch of awesome videos that says this is going to change your life. 3 minutes is going to totally change your day, but you haven't pressed play yet, because a lot of times where you're at, if you're in a funk, sometimes some people think they should be in a funk. Well, maybe I should be here. Well, why should I not be in a funk? That person's in a funk. This person's in a funk. Why shouldn't I be in a funk? Because you shouldn't. Because we have one time on planet Earth to make a difference. And I always think about this in my head. If I'm on my deathbed, I hope to God when I'm like 90, 95 years old, I want no freaking regrets. I don't want to say, oh, I was too scared to grow and share something that I love with somebody. I was too scared to tell somebody how much I feel. No regrets, you guys. With this business, have no regrets. Go balls to the flipping walls. Learn as much as you can. Sharpen your tools. A year from now, social media is going to be different than it is right now. We're going to have to freaking figure it out. We're going to have to pivot, constantly pivot, and want to grow and want to change and want to know more and want to help others. That's
You
what I'm saying.
You just blew it away, you guys. And Kortney literally just said so many freaking things on here that were like light bulb moments for me. Happy payday, by the way. If you're not taking your capsules on an empty stomach and putting them by your bedstand, I literally got this little cup and I have my capsules in it, and I cut my DFT. I wear Black Label normally, but they stick right down in it. Okay. I flop that on and I get my lifestyle mix as I'm going. I want you guys to, if you're not doing that, put them beside your bedstand. I guarantee you're going to feel different if you take them before your feet hit the ground. Paul used to always say that all the time, and it's true. I used to think that was crazy, but it's true. It does. You notice a difference. But also remember, people want different things all the time, and that's okay. There's always somebody out there that wants and needs what you have. Okay, so set those goals. Do exactly what Kortney just said. Grab on to people that want to go to, and find those people that need this, that want this, right? So every day be adding to your network. Every day set a timer, or a checklist that you do X, Y, and Z, and then you can reward yourself with something that you're going to go and do. You're going to watch a TV show or whatever you want to do. Go take a bath. Reward yourself after you've messaged 10 follow-ups, messaged your birthdays, added 10 friends. If you're posting in groups, I've seen that question over here, you guys, what you're relatable. When I had surgery, I joined a surgery group. I cannot even tell you how many customers. I never once posted about my product. Never once posted about my product. I engaged based on the group and what we had in common in that group. We ended up as friends on Facebook, and then through my stories, through my Facebook posts, they reached out to me, or I eventually reached out to them because they asked for something that I had a solution for. So that's how you kind of grow in groups. Okay. I love you guys. Kortney, thank you so much. I hope you guys got a lot of value. This recording will be up very, very shortly, and I will get it added. Thank you so much for being on today, dear. You rocked it. And like literally my brain, I cannot even tell you how much I wrote down. So I know everybody else did too. So happy payday. Thanks again, hon. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.